In the House, we have 15th District State Representative candidate, Mr. Jeremie Dufault. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Lance. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Jeremy. Good to see you.
Yeah, some people might call you Jeremie Dufault. But you know
would do that by default.
Yeah, by default.
Really
Is
French?
it
Yes,
French
no?
Dufault.
That's right. I'll answer to either one. Actually, some people within my family pronounce it Dufault, so I can't complain when someone meets me and does the same thing.
Are you French or are you Belgian? What are you?
French.
French. Do you like French fries?
Yes, I do.
French toast?
Yes, I do.
All right. French kissing? Don't answer.
He's a real estate developer? I'm asking these questions.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, real estate developer,
We know
investor.
you're a major in the U.S. Army Reserve. We looked at your if you haven't seen his Facebook page, check it out. You've got a beautiful picture there of must have been your wedding day.
That's right. Yes.
And you're kind of leaning to the left because all your medals are
Pulling him that way?
Jeez.
To the left or to the right, if you're looking at the photo?
To the right at the fullest. Thank you very much.
I just say that for political purposes.
You're right.
Exactly.
Thank
well
you
played.
very much. And JAG Corps military attorney.
That's right, yes.
Wow. Got your law degree from Harvard University.
I know.
Fantastic.
I so want to debate him, get my clock cleaned. Just to say that I got cleaned by a Harvard guy.
Well, unfortunately, I was also privileged to attend the University of Virginia, the JAG school at the University of Virginia in 2008 and 2012, studied military law there. That was a really great experience, some great people, some great folks in that institution.
You know, I worked for Virginia Tech, so we could cross swords on that one for a while.
Sure.
I was a Hokie. I was up there gobbling while you were being cavalier.
That's right. Waking up at 4:30 in the morning for PT, physical training.
Exactly.
Jeez, man, you guys. Tell us about who's Jeremie Dufault. Who is Jeremie Dufault? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
This could take some time because he's quite a young fella, let me tell you. And look how young he looks. You're going to tell us you're 40, aren't you?
I am 40, yes.
Yeah, see, it's like nobody's buying that.
Wow.
That's probably hurts your political career because people go, he's not telling the truth. He looks like he's about 28. But you're really 40 and take it from there.
I'm 40 years old. I grew up in Yakima in a small house a couple blocks away from Davis High School, which I attended. I now live in Selah with my wife, Amy, and my two little girls, Ellie and Lucy. Good morning, girls. I know you're listening. I love you.
Cute and cuter.
I am on the Selah City Council. I am also a real estate developer and investor, as you said, major in the Army Reserves as a military lawyer. And I've really been involved in the community my entire adult life. I'm the chairman of the Yakima County Veterans Board, chairman of the Yakima Valley Technical School Advisory Board, and I've been a member of the Yakima County Economic Development Board for about 10 years. They've done some really great projects, providing infrastructure, funding for infrastructure, the Walmart Distribution Center in Grandview, a lot of jobs created there. Also, to the Sozo Sports Complex, the YMCA Aquatic Center. We did some road improvements and some sewer improvements for those projects through the Economic Development Board. It's a great organization. I'm proud to be a part of it.
And I bet not as many people know about it on its own without being associated with those projects.
Correct.
In and of itself. So it's
very
kind
much
of like,
behind the scenes, and we like it that way. We do the nitty gritty, the roads and the infrastructure, the sewer lines, the water lines, those sorts of tasks.
Ready to make it happen.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Jeremy. So we get through the primary, and of all the people that had a primary opponent, you had a 10-year incumbent or 8-year incumbent. The big climb, and you climbed it, man. And I guess we talked about this earlier. You bring what we lose in Dave Taylor in experience. We just heard your credentials and the various things that you've been involved in, the various programs you've been involved in. You have to know what's going on the state and federal level to be in touch with a lot of those boards and bodies that you work with. It's not as though we'd be sending a rookie over there. You may not have spent time there, but your involvement in community, basically, I'm putting words in your mouth there, but really does help to prepare you for going over there and plugging into the system, doesn't it?
Well, I hope so. And I also think what has prepared me a lot for serving, if I am fortunate enough to be elected, is the fact that I knocked on 6,500 doors in the primary, and I met a lot of voters, and I listened to what was on their minds and the concerns of the district and the concerns of our communities, the concerns of our neighborhoods. And I think that's probably the most important skill set or experience that I can bring to the table, and why I think the voters should vote for me, because I will be able to take that firsthand knowledge with me to Olympia.
Did it vary much from the upper part of the district south towards the lower valley and beyond? Did you hear differing sorts of concerns, or is it a uniform concern?
A lot of them were uniform concerns, and I doorbelled from Selah all the way down to Mabton and every city in between and town in between. I think what's on a lot of people's mind are taxes. I mean, we are being overtaxed in Washington state. We're at record revenue collection in this state, and it's going up and up and up. And yet our property taxes are going up. People don't like that. There's talk of an income tax. People don't like that. They're concerned. They say, wait, we need economic development here in our community. We don't need to export jobs to Texas and Florida and other states that don't have an income tax by bringing that into our state. And also, too, I hear a lot of concern about some of these other taxes, like the carbon tax. You have an initiative on the ballot, 1631. And people are concerned, not specifically about that initiative, although I think most people are going to vote no on that, like me. But they're concerned about the idea of a carbon tax because voters are smart. They know it really is just code for a gas tax. And that what's going to happen is it's just part of the government growth agenda that is going to put more money in the pocket of government, and it's going to be spent on things that probably won't service the purpose that are being advertised.
Well, yeah, give me one example of the other side, if you will, exactly how, if you take 14 more cents of my dollar for gas tax and other things, show me the direct payoff in reduced global carbon impact, when in fact we've already done our hard work and fair share there in terms of having clean water, clean air here, while other parts of the world continue just to offset all of that by their daily life.
Well, that's right, Dave. And if you drill down even further on that, if you think about it, even if you endorse the idea and the concept, which I don't, but if you think about it, the costs will be borne entirely by the voters of the state of Washington and the citizens of the state of Washington, and the benefits will be a drop in the proverbial ocean. Because what impact are you going to have in Washington? In a planet where you have 1.3 billion people in China without any limitations on what they can pollute, and you're going to cap or you're going to tax people in Washington state, 6 million people. I mean, what impact is that really going to make on global climate? It won't make any impact, and the cost will be borne entirely by people who drive their cars, by businesses, by our farms.
Feel good and to no result. And who knows what you say once the money's collected, where will it really end up and where will it go at a time when we're in double-digit revenue increase as it is now?
That's right,
so,
yes.
One of the things that we've done is talked about those initiatives, and Lance has pretty much quizzed everybody who's been here about those things.
I'll just continue here. I'm just wondering. We've got taxes, we've got the McCleary decision, we've got gun control, we've got carbon tax. What do you think will take center stage in the next legislative session?
Those are all hot button issues. I think they all will be a component. I think 1631 will probably fail narrowly. That's what some of the polling is showing, the carbon tax initiative. And then I think what will happen is Democrats will reintroduce that in the form of legislation. So that will be a fight. Democrats will be trying to introduce a carbon tax in the legislative session if 1631 fails. You also see gun control. I think 1639 will fail. That's a good thing. I'm opposed to any new restrictions on responsible gun owners. That's exactly what 1639 is. It's a slippery slope to a registry. And I think we need to push back against that, and we need to push back against that in the legislature, because that will also be reintroduced.
Well, there you go. Go ahead. 1631, the carbon fee tax, you're against that.
Yes.
1639, the gun control issue, you're against that. How about Initiative 940, the police officer, the de-escalation training? I know when I describe that, it sounds great where everyone says, de-escalation training. Well, everyone should have that. They do have that. They have that now. How do you feel about Initiative 940, though?
I'm opposed to it, and there's a reason why all the sheriff departments and the police departments are opposed to it.
Right.
I mean, it assumes that our police and our sheriffs are not responsible citizens, that they're not well trained. I think that's an incorrect assumption. I have so much respect for people, first responders, who put their lives on the line every day. We don't need politicians and bureaucrats telling them how they need to be trained up to do their job. They're the ones that know how to do their job. They have very intense training, and we need to be vigilant at all times. They can always improve, but I think the responsibility for that, and I think the expertise for that, comes from within the departments. And when the departments are saying this is the wrong direction, I'm going to listen to them.
Absolutely. With a bogus beginning like that, the assumption that it's wrong and we're going to fix it legislatively, that is garbage in, garbage out the other end. It just assumes worst case scenario instead of saying, hey, we'll provide some help so that you can continue to do what you do and even do it better.
Yes,
I feel that tastes a lot better going down. That's for sure.
That's right. And listen, if there's any question out there about I-940, I just urge you to Google it. Google who supports I-940. You'll be pretty surprised. Anyway, 1634, Initiative 1634, the grocery tax bill, the sugar tax as it's being called in Seattle. Seattle. I know you're a family man, so how do you feel about that?
So this one's a little bit confusing. I'm a yes on this, but that's a no on taxes, the way that it's worded.
Exactly.
So that's something for voters to really pay attention to. Sometimes they do that with these initiatives where they try to kind of make the language funny so that they'll get the outcome that they think is a little bit easier. And I don't know if that happened in this case, but I propose, or I'll be voting yes on 1630. And what yes does is it prohibits local municipalities from imposing sales tax on grocery items and the items that you discussed.
Like your time on Sealer City Council, you guys could have slapped a tax on apples at the grocery store, for example, and this eliminates that. And but look at him. Does he look like he even eats groceries ever? The guy's so trim, so slender. It's like a tax on groceries would affect him because he never eats. What's up with that?
My wife would disagree with you, but those military runs, I tell you what, they really, you go out to the Yakima Training Center and you have an E8 yelling at you. You run fast and you run far.
Burns it off, doesn't it?
As an officer.
That's right. When the E8 speaks, we all listen.
Now, do you run daily?
Not daily.
Okay,
no.
I'm just checking. All right. You got a couple of minutes left.
Sure.
Tell us why you are the best choice for the 15th district.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to come in and visit with you. I think that I'm the best choice in this race because my values reflect the values of our community. My opponent is a great lady. I really liked her. I didn't know her before this campaign, but she has a good heart, and I think she really has the best interest of the community in mind, and couldn't blame anybody for voting for her. But we disagree on almost every issue. And I think my positions, my priorities are lower taxes, open government, and protecting constitutional rights, especially gun rights and religious freedom. I see both of those as being under attack in our state and in our country. The religious freedom really bugs me. I'm a Christian, and when I see the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which I worked for a year right out of law school, when I see it issuing decisions that say faith-based homeless assistance organizations like the Union Gospel Mission don't count towards addressing health crisis. They shouldn't be cut out of the equation. They should be lifted up, and we should all be lifting them up. So I really want to focus on those efforts. I think because of what just happened with Justice Kavanaugh, I think you're going to see a little bit more common sense being brought to the perspective of constitutional right protection at the Supreme Court level. And I'd like to see that case, which was a city of Boise, Idaho, or I think it was a ACLU against the city of Boise, Idaho, see that get appealed up to the Supreme Court and hopefully a different outcome come back down.
Jeremie Dufault, you do represent so many of the good things about the people here in the Yakima Valley and your values and your approach to living life and letting others live theirs and how government fits and doesn't fit into our life. Very refreshing, and we wish you the very best of good luck. And in the event, if you win, we look forward to many more conversations with you as you start your political career on behalf of the people at the 15th District. So thanks very much for being here.
Thank you. I look forward to checking back in if I'm elected. Thanks for your time.